Now then, my next guest is a face that you'll all know from the 1980s, fitness guru, and also she was awarded the B.E.M., the British Empire Medal. A great lady. You know, I used to wake up to you.
As a young boy.
Well, yeah, a young boy back in the 80s, and you're the Green Goddess, obviously. But Diana, you're going strong.
Going very strong at 84.
But you was born 1939, can I say that?
1939,
So you was a war baby?
I certainly was.
What was it like growing up during the Second World War?
Very happy times.
Yeah.
I was out in the country, so I honestly didn't hear bangs and bumps and see much of the devastation at the time in the country.
Okay.
And so I had a brother and boy cousins, and anything they could do, I could do just as well, because I was growing quite tall all the time. I was a tomboy, and up the trees, paddling around in the mud and the whatever, going up to school over the fields into a little tiny country school. Happy days.
No internet.
No internet whatsoever.
But I guess, you know, different sort of pressures, you know, back in the day when you were growing up. I mean, nowadays people, especially young ladies, they've got the pressures of having the best clothes, the best shoes, the best hair, the nails. How did you cope with that?
I coped very well with it. I didn't have a lot. We didn't have a lot. But my father had been a part-time policeman in the country. Wow. And when he finished what he was doing, I had his bicycle. And I had his big coat, and I could sew quite well from a young age. And I did lovely, great big stitches, white stitches, all around the collar and the cuffs and the belt. Thought I was the business.
So not only a fitness guru, a fashion guru as well.
A fashion guru as well. Stood me in good stead, because actually that's part of what I have done in my adult life.
So was there that sort of competitiveness that there is today with fashion, with sports, with fitness back in the 50s?
There was nothing. When I say that, there was the League of Health and Beauty that I think had started in about the 40s, and the Keep Fit Association started in about the 50s, 60s. But otherwise, there wasn't anything, nothing like the sports clubs that we have today, nothing. Women did a bit of hockey at school, and then that was the end of it. The gyms, any gyms that there were for you blokes. And they were dirty, smelly places. And you trained to do your rugby and your football or boxing. And you left all your dirty clothes on the floor.
Oh, quite right.
There were no sports clubs like we have them now.
Well, let's fast forward a few years, a few decades, actually, Diana. We've got something in common in that 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And I went to the GP, a locum GP, and he told me there was nothing wrong with me.
Oh, dear.
But fortunately enough, I did one of those things you should never do, which is go on the internet and diagnose yourself, which I did. I thought, well, I've got this. So I said, no, you know, I need to go and get a scan. So I had a scan. You
were in charge of your own body.
Yes, I pushed back. And I went for a scan, and the scanning chap says, you better go and fetch your pyjamas, that's coming off in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
So, which has saved my life, by the way. But you had a story back in the 80s?
I did, yes. 1987. I was 47 years old. And on breakfast time, I volunteered to start taking HRT, or to have a patch on me. It was just coming in from America. Nobody really knew what hormone replacement therapy was all about. And I went to a clinic. They said, we just got to do a check on you, make certain you're healthy. I went, for goodness sake, I'm this green goddess, I'm very healthy. So she did cervical smears, one thing and another, and she said, we need to do a mammogram. I said, no, you don't, I'm as fit as can be. They did a mammogram, they found that I had breast cancer, both breasts removed, and all the rest of it. Saved my life too.
So I guess, bit of luck. Saved your life?
It changed my life. Did it change your life as well?
I think it did. I think it did. It makes you appreciate life a little bit more.
Very much so.
And it also makes you wonder, you know, I'm a little bit lucky, because at the time I got diagnosed, I had two friends who I'd worked with previously in a different job. We all got diagnosed at the same time. Now them two chaps are dead. They died within a year. And I survived, so I thought I was fairly lucky.
Well, I felt that I was so lucky because my mother had died at 47. Okay. I'd come home from school and found her dead, not breast cancer. Hers was a brain hemorrhage, sadly. So there I was at 47, and I just thought, oh, this is me going. Yeah. And every day, and I really, really mean this, every day has been special since.
So do you think,
I appreciate every day.
Do you think your mother was looking down on you?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, it's a wonderful story, that is. And how's your health these days?
Perfect. Perfectly
Well,
okay. You know, at 84, I can do a lot
I
of
wasn't going
what
to say that. I
younger
wasn't going to say
people-
you're 84, but you look absolutely
a
amazing.
lot of what younger people can't do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's attitude, as you've alluded to already.
Yeah. So I guess my final question is, which I ask for most of my guests, is what gets you out of bed in the morning?
Well, my family are so precious to me. And then these days, thanks to COVID, I've rediscovered my love of painting.
Oh, look, I've just discovered, as by magic, some paintings, but they're signed by somebody called Diana.
I absolutely love it. So through COVID, I probably did about 100 paintings altogether.
Yeah.
Friends, family, you know. This is the view from my bedroom window.
So these are real places, yeah?
Oh, these are real places, yes. And this is my beloved Wiltshire,
Wiltshire.
which I absolutely love.
So I guess during COVID, because that could have been a stressful time for a lot of people. Some people are locked away in their homes and not going out and seeing people, but you saw that as a challenge.
I did indeed. The thing was that I've got a conservatory that I put on many years ago now. Best thing I ever did. It became my art studio. And then the BBC said, we need you to do a piece of Keep Fit for us every morning. And this was at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
I turned the conservatory into my Keep Fit studio as well. And with my own little camera, I filmed myself doing my piece. It was then edited, and that's what went out every day.
So you was actually keeping the nation fit. You was keeping your own mind fit, the old grey matter. You was doing your fitness, you was doing your painting, you was doing your TV stuff. That's an amazing story.
Well, I did about 100 of those. Well, I'm still painting. I mean, I've got another one on the easel now. And I've actually got, a what do we call it? A website.
How does anybody watching this programme tonight get hold of one of these paintings?
Oh, it's just so easy. www.goddessart.
I think we're going to put a little link under this here to direct you to that link. Look, Diana, this is amazing. So, like I said, as a young man growing up in the 80s, working in the 80s, I was looking at the Green Goddess. I think millions of us looking at the Green Goddess, and never thought for 1 minute that I'd be sat here with the legend that is Diana Moran. So it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you today.
Well, it's been a pleasure for me to talk to you as well.
Just one final question. Any young people out there, young girls, young boys in their teens, and they're worried about what's going to become of them in life, what they want to do, about their motivations, about opportunities, what would you say to them?
I would say that life throws out challenges. It'll throw out challenges to those people. And they'll probably say, oh, I'm not ready to do something like that. I'll do that in a few years' time. Oh, I don't think I take the challenge and try it. It goes down in your book of experiences, or, like happened to me, it creates another life and maybe another...
because I guess if they don't take those challenges, then somebody else will.
Somebody else most certainly will. There's somebody always behind you there.
And life is a bit of a race.
Oh, you bet.
Well,
You've got to keep up in front.
I think you've come first in your race, Diana.